Hello, how are you doing? You can do it. I don't know what you're struggling with. I don't know what thing is in your way, what blocker is stopping you from doing something. I don't know what you're struggling with at this stage. But I do know that you can do it. You are way stronger than you give yourself credit for. You can do way more than you think you can. I believe that you are able to overcome your challenges. I believe you are able to do the thing that you need to do. Because I believe in you. I believe that you are able, you are capable of doing what you need to do.
Meet Koda Wolf, a small YouTuber that strives to create powerful motivational videos.
The point of life is to enjoy the journey, to enjoy the trip that you take towards your destination. Sometimes there will be challenges, sometimes life does throw a curveball your way, and if you fall, that's okay. As long as you're putting energy into getting back up and trying it. You don't have to reach your goal every single day. In fact, sometimes you won't. Sometimes you'll get knocked down, and then you have to put in a lot of energy to get back up again and to start running again. And that's perfectly okay. It's perfectly okay to tackle life at your own pace. As long as you're getting up and as long as you're trying, that's good enough.
Covering various different topics in life lessons.
In life, often moving slower is moving a little faster. Life is filled with all of these challenges, all of these problems that we need to solve, all of these mountains that we need to climb. And only by doing all of those things, we learn valuable lessons. We learn things that make us inherently better people. They make us better. They make us more resilient. They make us more robust. But it's never a fast process.
With each video being more impactful than the last.
You can't have the happy without the sad. You can't have good times without the bad times. And we as people, I know I am one of those people. I often just want everything to go well. I want to get the best outcome for every situation, but you can't. You need to embrace life. Because if we embrace the bad times, then the good times will be so much sweeter. If we embrace the sadness, then the joy and happiness will be so much greater and so much grander. Make sure that you are embracing life and that you are truly experiencing it.
The word underrated is a term that I've heard passed around countless times. However, this is one of those cases where that term is true, as he works hard to create some of the most inspirational videos you have ever seen.
We all need help from time to time. Asking for help is not a weakness. We live in a world where we're told that we need to be self-reliant, self-sufficient, and completely independent. We as humans, we're social creatures. We live in a social ecosystem where it is healthy for us to interact with one another. No man is an island. Nobody is made to be completely on their own. Now I know a lot of introverts will be screaming at me going, haha, we deserve our free space, don't touch us, stay far away from us. But even the most extreme introvert will also need some social interaction from time to time.
That I can almost guarantee that upon your first watch, you will feel more motivated than you ever were before.
Don't forget to celebrate the small things. Life can be so full and so busy sometimes. We are out there setting goals and chasing them, running towards the next thing. There's no right way or wrong way of going about life. We're all in this on our own journey. But there's something that we need to understand, something that we need to do that is super important. And that thing is to celebrate the small victories in life. Celebrating the smaller things can be so powerful just for our self-confidence and our self-image alone. but it can also lift up our moods and enrich our days. It can make us more positive and allow us to focus on things and have a clearer understanding of where we are going.
With a heart full of optimism and a mindset aimed at making you feel better about yourself.
You see, a lot of the times we just do things to get them off of our checklist, to tick them off. And it's part of this hustle culture. It's part of this culture where we want to strive to reach the next thing, to move towards the next thing. But we should not forget to live in the now. We should not forget to experience things as they are now. Because a moment that is past will never be again. Remember that you only have these moments for a fleeting few seconds and then they're gone. There can be so much meaning in the smaller things, in the hidden gems in life. And if we can just allow ourselves to experience them to the full, then life will be so much richer and so much more meaningful.
And to help you rethink your life goals.
The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is today. And you can do this. You got this. It's not too late for you. It's never too late for you. I believe that you have the potential. You have everything that you need. You just need to start taking the steps towards your goals. It's never too late. You can do this. You got this. I believe in you. So please go out there and make a difference. Be the difference. Run towards your goals. I don't know where you are in your journey, but I want to motivate you. It's never too late. You got this. I believe in you.
So how did you become a furry?
How did I become a furry? Alright, so this is an interesting question. I think all the way back in 2012, I saw a little bit of furry art, which was just a generic wolf character. I thought, that was pretty cool. I thought the idea of having a cartoon avatar represent you was very neat. Of course, I'm a 90s child and I grew up on cartoons. So, the idea of having my own one as my avatar was a really, really neat idea. Since then, I just kind of joined into the community, made my own character or persona or whatever you want to call it. And that's pretty much the origin story. Nothing glamorous, really. I think as many people's origin story, it starts off with art.
So what is your favorite aspect of the fandom?
My favorite aspect of the fandom. Alright, my favorite aspect of the fandom has got to be how everybody can just be silly and be themselves. And how there's a space for everybody. I think that is probably my favorite aspect of it. Because in the fandom, right, you have so many different kind of people. And people can express themselves in so many unique ways. If you look at just how, you can make an avatar for yourself. Just a persona. There is so many different possibilities. It's kind of infinite almost. The amount of variety that there can be in the diversity in what people can come up with. The sky's the limit, and creativity is your guide. And coupled that with just the general silliness in the fandom, where people can be kind, where people can be happy, where people can be themselves. It's just such a vibe, such an incredible time. It's just nice. It's different than the real world, which I often find can be very dark and very depressing. It's just a place to kind of escape all of that and be yourself, be silly, be wild, be kind of a little bit crazy sometimes, I suppose. Oh, and there's no such thing as cringe in the community, which is awesome. The fact that cringe doesn't really exist. You can kind of be yourself. If you want to be a silly wolf on the internet and dance, you can do that, which is fortunate for me.
Now that's a very distinctive accent you got there. Where exactly are you from?
I am from South Africa. That very small country on the tip of the African continent, the one with Cape Town and Johannesburg and the lions that apparently walk in the streets. Lions don't really walk in the streets there. Even though I do wish that they did. That would be a wild experience. But yes, I'm from South Africa. It's a beautiful country. Go and visit it.
Huh. I was under the impression that was a very rare place to find furries. I find it so weird that this has happened twice. What's your favorite experience so far?
A favorite experience? it depends on, of course, what kind of experience we talk about. Are we talking about experiences in the fandom, or are we just talking about experiences in life? Because if we talk about favorite experiences in life, I would say traveling to different places and seeing different things and experiencing different environments and just different things all over. That is, for me personally, one of my favorite things. But in the fandom, experiencing just the joy and the happiness and experiencing how people can just be themselves, that for me is kind of one of my favorite experiences. And that's kind of why I got into the type of content that I create, because I often find that the world is a very dark and gloomy place, and it's it can be quite bleh. So if I can make somebody's day just a little bit better, if I can make them smile, if I can just bring a little ray of light, then that is going to be wonderful, and that's going to be one of my favorite experiences for that day. I think my favorite experiences are more smaller things where I've seen people's lives being impacted for the better, or where I see people's days just being made better by smaller things. And I believe, we shouldn't just have one favorite experience. We should try and make as many favorite experiences, as many good experiences as we can, so that our lives have meaning and so that we can experience joy to the fullest extent. I know it's a little bit corny. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit lame like that.
What do you enjoy doing?
What do I enjoy doing? My word. I love games a lot. I enjoy games quite a bit. Any type of game, really. As long as it's not sport or motor games, I'm happy playing them. I like RPGs, those type of things, TTRPGs, like Dungeons and Dragons, those kind of things. And then, of course, I like to go hiking, and I love traveling and going to restaurants. My word, I love food. Those who know me will know that, holy crap, I love food. Some people say that they eat to live. I live to eat different type of cuisines. I love it so much. So my hobbies is pretty much, traveling, hiking, going around and playing games.
So what do you do for work?
What do I do for work? Well, I am a developer. So I work with code. Not really interesting for most people, but for me it's pretty interesting and it pays the bills and I'm happy doing it. It's a nice, comfortable job and it challenges your mind, I think. So yeah, I kind of enjoy it.
So how do you typically respond to furry hate?
Great question. All right, so furry hate, I think actually is freaking hilarious. Whenever I see a furry hate comment on my videos or in Twitch chat or on Twitter or wherever, it makes me laugh. It puts a smile on my face. I think it's absolutely funny. The comedy behind somebody hating a community only because they want to represent themselves as furry avatars at the same time they're representing themselves as a Roblox or a anime avatar is comical to me. I think it's absolutely funny, and it kind of puts a smile on my face. And I understand that it gets a little bit dark sometimes, and sometimes people can get threats against them. The thing is, it's the internet. It's a wild world out there. We just have to make a joke out of it. And I think that kind of couples with the fact that I'm South African. South Africans like to make a joke out of everything. We like to laugh about everything. Whenever something bad hits us, we just laugh about it and we continue. We need to make a joke about it. And I think a lot of that mentality has kind of made it into how I perceive furry hate.
You come off as a kind, wholehearted guy, yet you have streams that are labeled 18 plus, but I don't see that being the case. What's the reason behind that?
So the Twitch is 18 plus, and the reason for that is because sometimes the topics can be a little bit more mature. Sometimes I also like to drink a glass of wine while I'm streaming. I know, naughty, naughty, don't do that. Don't drink, kids, it's not good for you. But I like to do it, and I decided to make the stream 18 plus because I felt like I don't want to be a bad influence in a younger generation in that environment. Especially, when you do have a glass of wine, your tongue can get a little bit more loose and you can kind of sometimes go into a little bit more risque topics. So I do generally like to keep my stream, calm and keep it nice and chill. But there is the odd occasion when the topics become a little bit more mature.
So what got you into creating motivational content?
What got me into motivational content creation? So, as you know, there's a lot of darkness in this world, a lot of sadness, and people are lonely, people are depressed, people People want something greater. And I decided, initially I started streaming and I realized that really made some people's lives a little bit better. It made them smile. It gave them just a little bit of happiness. And I wanted to do more of that, but on a grander scale. I wanted to reach people, on a platform where they're searching for motivational advice, where they're searching for something to motivate them. So I decided YouTube. I decided to maybe post a little bit on TikTok. I decided to post a little bit on Instagram or wherever. It started with the shorts, just me saying that, I want you to have a good day. I want you to have the best day. And I want you to know that it gets better. And it kind of grew from there into more full videos, into more kind of motivational videos, and it went into the direction of more like self-help slash mental health, which I'm now diverting back into motivational things because I just want to motivate people. I don't want to be an educational channel. I don't want to be a channel that goes into mental health. I want to be a channel that motivates people and that gives people hope, because as I said, the world can be a dark place, and if we can just bring a little bit of light, just a tiny bit of light into somebody's lives, then that is going to be amazing. And if I can just make somebody's day a little bit brighter with one video, if it's only one person, then that video has been a success in my eyes. I know it's weird and kind of corny, but yeah, it's kind of my mission to leave a positive legacy and a motivational legacy.
Have your videos ever left an impact on someone?
I think my content has helped people. I've gotten some really amazing feedback, some fantastic comments on my videos, and fantastic comments in the Discord and everywhere, people saying that thanks, Koda. I've even received a couple of DMs from people when thanks, Koda, this really impacted me in a positive way. And I think for me, receiving that feedback is amazing. It's fantastic because it really shows that the effort that I'm putting in is at least reaching somebody. And when I initially started, of course, it was never about the numbers. And there was a little bit of a time where I got a little bit obsessed with the numbers, because I think it's kind of the natural thing. All YouTubers eventually get a little bit obsessed with the numbers. But in December, I just realized, man, you have to stop worrying about the numbers and you just have to start going back into the roots of this thing. Why did you start? You started because you wanted to have a positive impact on people's lives. You started because you wanted to make a positive difference. The way that it's impacted me is that every time I receive one of those comments, it's kind of a life-changing event, because I know that I made a difference in somebody's life. And that is absolutely wild to me. It blows my mind. It's absolutely flabbergasting. I think it impacted my life in a positive way. It impacted my life in a great way. And it's kind of given me a purpose, I suppose.
Do you have a favorite quote or piece of advice?
Oof. I don't have a favorite quote, but I do have a favorite concept. And that concept is that the most valuable currency that we will ever own is time. And you are the master of that time. You get to decide how you're going to spend that time, so spend it wisely. With that time comes so much promise and so much opportunity. If we just choose to invest that time in something wonderful, then wonderful things will come of it. I think that's one of my favorite concepts. And then the other concept is, smile, because making the world bright is absolutely free. Kindness is free. It's something that you can give on to others, and it's absolutely free. And you can make the world a better place if you are just kind to only one person a day. You can have a monumental impact greater than you could ever know. So yeah, that's it.
So what would you say to someone who's down on their luck?
What's my advice for someone down on their luck? It gets better. I know that you are in a place that you're stuck and you're feeling like, oh, man, it's never going to get better. It's never going to improve. But life gets better. And I've seen this. I've been in a place in my life where I was in a pretty dark place and where I didn't want to go on. And now when I look back at my life and I see all the positive and amazing things, I see all the amazing people that I met, and I see the place where I'm at now versus where I'm at, where I was. It's just such a monumental difference. So listen, it gets better. You just have to keep on going. You just have to move forward. And in that moving forward, you will learn things. You will become a better person. You will become stronger. And eventually you will become happy. You just need to move toward that goal. And set goals for yourself. Set goals. Don't be afraid to set goals, because if you aim for nothing, you're going to hit nothing 100% of the time.